garden update. It is May 10th, 2025, and just day before yesterday I got my cattle panel trellises up. So let's take a tour of what we've got going on right now. So these are my potatoes. I just planted some kitchen potatoes that were growing eyes. There's russet, baby red, and the little Yukon Golds are all in here, so we'll see what happens. It's not a ton of space, so I'm curious to see how many potatoes I get out of there. But theoretically, we're going to let these plants grow out. Once they start to die back, I'm going to dump this out and we'll see how many potatoes we get. It's an adventure. In this first bed here, I have some like butter lettuce. These three here. All these middle ones are spinach, and then I've got a romaine there. That's the only one that popped up, so I might reseed some of those. This whole center bit here is different peppers. There are jalapenos, bell peppers, poblanos, and I think I got some cayenne in there as well. Where the shady bit is, there's corn along that whole row, and those are finally starting to sprout up. So high hopes for those. Just right here in this section here, I have cantaloupe. It looks like only 2 of those, of the 3 that I planted there, are still growing, but they are growing slowly but surely. I've got a watermelon right here, and that last one over there is a cucumber. I planted cucumber seeds all through here, but that's the only one I've seen come up, so I may have to plant a few more of those seeds as well. My cucumbers, the starts that I did, didn't really work either. On the end, I've got 3 different kinds of pumpkins. This one over here on this side doesn't look too hot, but these 2 are looking okay, so we'll see what happens there. So the trellis here is going to be for the cucumbers and the melons on this side. Over in this bed, this is where I've got a bunch of little experiments. I've got various different apples, strawberries, raspberries. And then this one here is asparagus. These 2 are asparagus. This one has been successful. This one not so much yet, but we'll see what happens. This is rosemary that I had planted last year. There are peas there, so those will trellis up on this one. I have carrots here. These 2 plants are broccoli. This one here is, it's a squash of some sort. Let's see. This one is a butternut squash. And then the next one to that is also butternut. Right there in that section is more broccoli. And the whole back section from the peas over to the end, closest to the trellis, I think I planted about 12 different tomato plants. We'll see how many of them hold up. This one here is the strongest looking one so far. But I've got a couple that are working on catching up, so we'll see how those do. I've got a couple more squash plants along here. I think this is another butternut, and then I've got one of those is an acorn and another is a yellow squash, so those theoretically are going to trellis up this guy as well. On the end there, I've got 2 different types of bulb onions, and then just like a chive onion. And then also next to the broccoli are some Brussels sprouts. In these pots here, this is peach branches. Again, just an experiment to see what happens. These 2 here, I believe, are black currants. No, excuse me. This one's a black currant. That one is a grape. This one is a honeyberry. That one's another black currant that isn't looking too good. And those ones are apple scion experiments. So that's that. And then over here in the corner, I have a zucchini plant. Theoretically, I'm going to use that tomato cage to kind of contain it a little bit. We'll see what happens. Next to that, I have 4 different cabbage plants, 3 different cauliflower plants, and then these here are artichokes. Down here, I don't remember which is which, but where those sprouts are and in that general vicinity are beets and radishes. And then this whole section here is mostly crabgrass right now. If you have any tips on getting rid of crabgrass other than the obvious, just pulling it up, let me know. because this is strawberries. There's about 20 different strawberry plants here that are not doing a whole lot yet, but hopefully they will. And then just one little lone blueberry plant over there. And these are zinnias. Also in this corner, I have a marigold, and in this corner, I have zinnias as well. But again, crabgrass is in the way. So, also, let's go take a peek at my fruit trees. So a couple months ago, I tried my hand at grafting. Nothing has happened with the grafts yet, but they don't look too shrivelly. So we'll see if it's going to be a late take or if it was just a fail. But I didn't have a whole lot of hope for anything happening with this peach tree yet this year because it's so small. However, my husband actually discovered this first. I have one little lone peach that's growing here, so I think I'm going to let it try since it's just the one. And yeah, we'll see if we get a little peachy peach off of this one this year. My apple tree also, I tried the grafts. None of them budded out at all. There are 6 different grafts that I put on here. But like I said, it's early in the spring. I'm not giving up hope yet. But the grafts are there. We'll see what happens. It's an adventure. But in addition to that, I didn't think that because I didn't get the grafts to work, I didn't think I was going to get any apples this year. But these are kind of bigger buds there, so I don't know. We'll find out if those are going to actually turn into apples or if they're just little teasers. But we've got quite a few little starts there, so we'll see how many of them try to grow out. I'm probably going to have to pluck several of these off because it's still a pretty small tree. But yeah, that's exciting. This is a Honeycrisp apple. But if I can get the scions to grow, that apple tree will have 4 different types of apples on it. So yeah, we got a good start. I do. That has had tulips and daffodils. And now we've got one lonely little iris, which is beautiful. Lots of zinnias growing in here and some mystery cut flowers that I don't know what's going to come up yet. So, woohoo! Yay for growing things. So everything that you see growing in ground in my garden, with the exception of the rosemary, are all things that I planted from seed, as well as the flowers up in the front garden. And I'm going to go ahead and link where I got the seeds from on those as well, down in the description, so you can snag those if you're still looking for a seed source. I got so many seeds that it's going to last me years to come. And they're all heirlooms, so you can actually collect the seeds at the end of the growing season and continue growing forever, which is pretty awesome. Also, I will go ahead and link my grafting kit that I got, as well as my garden sprayer, and any other awesome tools that I've benefited from in my garden space. Thanks for watching.